So my name is Anuj Behal, and I basically come from Jalandhar, Punjab. I have a recent undergraduate degree in urban and regional planning. And the moment I've completed my degree, I've joined the IIHS Urban Fellowship Program. I think from my college, we were aware about IIHS before. Like it used to come at different places during my degree. Also, my friends of friends were a part of UFP before, so I already knew like how accomplished this program is. I think I was little confused by the end of my undergraduate degree. It was much more like I was keen into urban planning, but I found the component of urban was little bit missing, and we were more emphasizing on the planning part of it. Also, we were we were made keen to think about like how urban planning is so interdisciplinary, but I always found the interdisciplinary nature was always missing. So that becomes one of the reason to take IHS ka fellowship, where I can actually see like how I can bridge my practice around interdisciplinariness of this program. The second reason would be to bridge my own practice around urban. I was almost very confused to make my decision regarding my masters further. I was almost in a position where I was like, I want to go for my masters right now, but I was still not clear what in the urban fascinates me more. It pushes me to think to take this urban fellowship program. I thought I will find my niche over here. Before coming to UFP, actually, it was much more like I looking at urban through only a lens of planning. Then I actually came to UFP while carrying my old lens of planning, and then I had little bit of more expectations. Like I was like, oh my god, I'll be interacting with governance and other stuff. But once I actually reached over here, the first week I still remember I met the rest of the cohort. All of the people were coming from literally interdisciplinary nature of backgrounds. Never met a political science student in a planning class. It was literally an eye opener for me. It literally pushed my vision throughout the urban also. So those little lenses, I was like, oh my god, this interdisciplinary would be a very little part of it, like it was in my undergraduate degree, but it was not. It was something way beyond it. It definitely aligns with my academic background. I come from the background of urban planning, so from the past 4 years, I'm only talking about urban throughout my degree. And then I came to UFP and it's like, yeah, again urban. So it perfectly aligns in one way. Though my degree was much more on the practice side, this program actually pushed me to think about the academic perspective of the urban too. So that's a good thing, I think. I think the experience throughout would be really good. The one thing I really enjoyed about UFP is living with the cohort. It was really fun living into a one single building. We were literally having fun. Also, I like the campus of IHF. It's quite small. The building is little small. I always, at one point, like I always try to find spaces to roam around. It's little hard to find, but again, because of the small size of the building, we are almost living very close to the faculty as well as the rest of the cohort, and that makes the environment very viable to talk and share our experiences. So that's one of the things I liked about UFP. Academic side, I think it's good. The program is structured in a well format. For example, when we entered into the program, we were thrown into the foundation. Foundation was really great. Like it literally gave us an overview or insight of the program, like what is going to happen in the rest 6 months, and then comes out to be commons and electives, where we can actually focus more particularly on things. So yeah. Coming to IHS has pushed me to think about to learn more skills. I would say. I think the skill labs like media skill lab specifically have pushed me to think about urban or think about photography even in a little more particular way, I would say, like where I can actually experience it better. And then comes out to the skill labs like ethnography, and also I think data skill labs also. I feel like where actually like I said, I come from a place of quantitative data, but still there was so much of missing to it. So I understood how to read data better. I understood how to uh, continue with qualitative research. Ethnographic methods will be my favorite throughout the CFP. I think it was actually good. Obviously, we were very eager to always be on the campus. In the beginning, it was actually we were being told like the foundation will be completely online, but we got an opportunity to visit campus really soon. So that moment we didn't miss campus too much. But once we had the third wave of COVID, it becomes little. We were little eager to be on campus, but still, I feel like the way the program has been conducted, we never felt too much of like. For example, we were able to issue books even when we were living in our hostels. We were not visiting campus. Those are, I think, some of the things which we felt like are not even missing even if we are online. I think the one thing which which excites me most about the EFP is the relationship over here with the faculties. It's quite easy to go and talk to people, and also I feel like the relationship between faculties over here with students is much more beyond academia. We can also go and talk about our personal stuff, career mentorship. Also, I would say in one or the other way. Uh, People are very approachable over here every time, and that's one of the things which excites me a lot about EFP. Like I've never seen such kind of environment in my undergraduate school. Also, I feel like the place where the IIHS campus is situated, it's fully surrounded with beautiful trees around. So I really enjoy my evening walks or sometimes evening walks between my classes whenever I'm too whelmed with the idea of urban and theoretics. So yeah, it's a good escape also. I think I like the UFP. I like the course structure in a way. I would say it was nice. For example, like I said, when we actually entered into the program, we were introduced to a small segment of a month about a foundation term. So that term actually pushed us to think about like how this program will be, what are the subjects we're going to touch upon, and then comes out to be common where every layer of the urban or every component of it was thrown on us. So it was a layer by layer program wherein every week we were exploring one or the other thing. Additionally, there were skill labs going on, so it made the program also very. We were almost very engaged in that way also, and then comes out to be the elective. And I think the 3 months of the elective were also very interesting, where we were the one who were choosing our subjects of our interest. In that way, I think the course structure is quite nice. I think it's slightly balanced. Uh, One thing I felt like sometimes there were too many breaks, even the small breaks or larger breaks. I know those were being placed in the program very wisely to give ourselves time to absorb whatever we are learning. So in that way, it's also good. But sometimes I feel like little bored within those breaks. Rest, I think it's a quite balanced program where it's a seriously a mixture of practice and academia, and the way skill labs came into the projects came into practica, it's quite a balanced approach to this complete exercise of planning. I think I enjoyed my electives a lot, especially my first elective. I think work, labor, and informality. I've never touched upon the subjects of livelihood before. Uh, we never think about livelihood as a direct outcome of planning also in our undergraduate degree. I think that literally pushed me to understand about informality even better. And I think my other electives also like urban health as well as rental housing were also very good and very engaging in a one or the other way. So I think electives is the one I'm enjoying the most right now. It's quite engaging throughout. We're quite engaged throughout. We're also visiting sites. It's a very particular theme when we have actually chose subjects of our own choice and we are exploring them more. So I think, and it's helping me to bridge my practice a little bit more. I think Practica was really interesting in one or the other way. Initially, when Practica started, I was thinking it to be like another planning studio, which we already had in our undergraduate school. But the approaches we use in a Practica is quite different over here. It's quite mesmerizing to experience Practica over here. There was tough moments when we were like literally stuck between things, when I was struggling throughout, like, oh my god, what is happening, where is my planning, why aren't we touching upon other components. But I think what we explored in Practica was really fascinating. By the end, we literally evolved so much through Practica. We literally pushed ourselves, for example, our group specifically, we literally pushed ourselves from this quantitative data to qualitative research when we were constantly engaging with qualitative interviews of people. I've literally not taken so many qualitative interviews before, like I did in Practica. So I truly enjoyed it. I think it bridges the gap between our whatever we are learning in the classroom. Since foundation is the term, when we were being introduced to the new urban vocabulary, many of the things were new for so many people, and we were also learning from our cohort. So I think that and it also becomes a very crucial part of teamwork, I would say. So in one way, it's like when initially when we were in our undergraduate schools, we are almost from the same background. We are into the same degree, but over here, the team we had in Practica is well balanced. I think the faculties curate the team with the interdisciplinary niche of the program. We had and one anthropologist. I think people from political sciences, and then we had one person from civil engineering, philosophy, and architecture. So all of us were coming from different backgrounds, which actually pushed me to think about the issues more deeper. So in one way, I would say when I was like, oh, this is the right thing to do, but there were three people again who were who from their lenses of disciplines, they were like, no, this we can't achieve right here. So I think that was really interesting in that way. I think yes. I think present we are in a situation where urban India is really expanding, and we want more emphasis on urban. And this program really pushes to think about urban in one or the other way. It's really a program where we can actually see practice, how to practice. So I think yeah, it definitely has a contemporary relevance. I think internship process is very crucial at the stage. For example, I think we are really comforted in our spaces in IIHS. We are literally now, I feel like we are like those spoiled childs in those institutes. I feel like internship is a way when we are actually entering into the field by the end of the program. Many of us are like trying to explore the industry. So almost like, for example, I have tried to develop my interest throughout the program, and now I can say like I want to practice in household housing and livelihood for now. And it's a nice way to start getting into that practice. So the internship is a nice entry point to the field, I would say. I come from a degree of urban planning where the classrooms are restricted to 12 or 15 people in only. And then there's a cohort of 30 people over here. And then again, people were coming from very different backgrounds like architecture, planning, anthropology. Most interesting, I think, political science people. They literally pushed me to think so much in my beginning days. So I think in that way, the program is quite interdisciplinary. One thing I think is literally less is the state representation. I feel like I don't see people much coming from diverse regional settings. Also, I found people not coming from much of the rural areas also. Yeah, so that will be one thing. Like I said, I'm completely overwhelmed after coming over here. The way we have interacted with the fellows and the faculties, I think I've never experienced such kind of feelings in teaching while I'm learning. It's always a position where I was thinking, I was trying to push my own self. Like we always say, there was moments of discomfort when I was literally struggling. But again, I think those moments of discomfort were also very necessary to learn. It seriously make me push myself into my practice a little more. I think I can see myself a little grown right now with whatever I've learned, and I think I understand urban a little more better now. I think yes, we had master classes from time to time, especially the master class we had in the last week with Aruna Roy and Nikhil Dey. I think it was really nice to meet people who are actually working on the ground, maybe working as an activist, some of them working as a practitioners. It was really nice interacting with them in a way when we are almost engaged and overwhelmed with the information in the text. It becomes very necessary and interesting to think outside and meeting these kind of people who are literally working on the field. Other than this, I think events around IHS, for example, our field visits were also very interesting and overwhelming. I've always enjoyed going to the field with the IHS team, especially the way they always scatter things. It's amazing. To the future applicants, I would rather say do apply to this program. If you are also in a stage in your life when you are passionate about urban and little confused about bridging your practice around, it is a good place to be. Also, if you think like you already have the knowledge to be a practitioner, still choose this program because I think things are much more beyond knowledge over here. You'll experience a new world out here, specifically the friends of mine in planning, I would say.